Hey coin collectors, and welcome to DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We're going to look at the 1988 US dime today, and here's one of them, the Philadelphia one. In 1988 they made $200 million worth of dimes, and there's probably still $100 million worth of dimes out there. They made 2 billion, if you want to count them, dimes in 1988. And we'll also talk about this coin here, which is a New Zealand dime or 10-cent coin from 1988. Kind of an interesting coin. This coin has a Maori carved head on the back, and just a beautiful coin. And of course, you know what's on the other side of it. It's a New Zealand coin from 1988, and that'll be Queen Elizabeth II. We'll take a look at this and talk about how New Zealand does their coins and their dimes. All right, let's get back to our coins. At the Philadelphia Mint, they made 1 billion. These are 75% copper, 25% nickel covering, and then the inside is just pure copper. And then, of course, the back side has that same 75% copper, 25% nickel covering on the back. The back of these, it says United States of America, 1 dime, e pluribus unum, and we have the olive branch and the oak branch here for symbolizing peace for the olive branch, strength for the oak branch, and then in the center we have a torch. And if you want to get a good one of these, you have to look at the bands on the torch and how much detail you have on that torch. And of course this one is not going to be very expensive. This coin is worth 10 cents. Okay, we looked at the Philadelphia dime. They also made this dime at the Denver Mint, and you can see the D there for Denver, big wide open D. You can also see the In God We Trust, the I and the W are kind of faded, and that happens a lot on these coins. If you get one of these that has kind of faded lettering here, it's not worth any more. In fact, it's probably going to be worth less if it's a good condition one. The Denver Mint, they made $962 million. The auction record for a Denver Mint coin is $1,080. The auction record for a Philadelphia coin is $1,560. So not hugely expensive, but pretty good deal if you get a really good condition one. You'd have to get up to a Mint State 68 for the Philly, and a Mint State 67 for the Denver, and they would have to have the full bands on the back. And the full bands on this one, you really can't see it, but these bands that go across here and here have to have separation and full bands going all the way across the torch. How would we know that? Well, let's look at this one here. This is a San Francisco Mint coin. And at the San Francisco Mint, they only made proof coins, which are these specialty coins. They made 3.2 million. The auction record for one of these is $633, but right now you can get the best San Francisco Mint dime that they ever made for about $20. A proof 70 of this is worth $20. But the reason we want to look at it is to look at the bands. So see the 2 bands going across here and the 2 bands going across the top. This isn't a great one, but you can definitely see the separation in the 2 bands, top and bottom, if we tip it up just the right way. If you get those full bands on a Denver or a San Francisco, a Denver or a Philadelphia coin, you could be talking in the hundreds of dollars. But on this particular coin, because it's a proof coin, and they make them all really good, you're not into the $100 range. I also want to look today at some coins from New Zealand, including the New Zealand dime. So what we're looking at here is a mint set, what's called a brilliant uncirculated set. They made about 15,000 of these, and they are in plastic, and then they're in a container which has all this information on it. And they talk about each one of them. You see that says uncirculated coin set, and then on the outside is something along the lines of this, which is New Zealand 1988. You can kind of see why we got it cheap, because it got a little messed up, but the inside is still fine. They have a 1 cent coin that you can see the 1 there. They have a 2 cent coin, you can see the 2 there. A 5 cent coin with a lizard, a 10-cent coin that we're going to take a look at, a 20-cent coin. So New Zealand has the 20-cent coin, which we don't have, a dollar coin, and this is a yellow-eyed penguin coin. This is a very, very collectible coin. And then the 50-cent coin on the other side, which is the HMS Endeavour. So this coin here is worth 10 cents New Zealand. It is a Maori mask coin. If we go to the front of it, you can see that it has Queen Elizabeth II on it. It says Elizabeth II, New Zealand, 1988. It weighs 5.69 grams, so it's a much heavier coin and a much bigger coin than the US dime. In fact, we'll show you, if we put the US dime on top of the coin, you'll see and these coins you cannot see the copper in the New Zealand coins, but these are not silver. They're still a copper nickel mix. So if you're trying to collect a 1988 dime, what you need to do is get one of the Denver ones that looks something like this, or one of the Philadelphia ones that looks something like this, with the full bands on the back, and then you can get up into the hundreds, if not $1,000 range. One of the things that you can notice, and people talk about a lot in the 1988 dimes, is where the mint marks are, because it's almost like people decided to kind of move their mint marks around as they put them on. So this P, you'll see, is pretty much over the 8 in the 1988. This P here, if you can, let's put these P's together, is a little bit tipped. It's not straight up and down. See how it kind of goes at an angle like that? And it's in between the 8 and being over the 8. So if you look through the different P's, you'll find all these different versions of where they put the P. This one they put up higher above it and straight over the middle of the second 8. So if you want to look for these, sometimes what we've done in the past is just go through all the different places they put the P's on these coins. They did the same thing with the D's. So you see this D here is way in, the line on the D is in the middle of the two 8s. With this D here, the line on the D is above the second 8 and it's tipped backwards. So if you look through your 1988 dimes, it's kind of fun to see how they put the mint marks on and where they put them. The one that they did pretty much all the same, though, was the San Francisco mint dime, and you can see that S right there above the 8. And the San Francisco mint dimes are much more uniform, but it is a funny S with a kind of flat bottom on it. All right, well, that's all we have today from DC Coin World International Coin Channel. We'd love to have you subscribe to our channel, and please put any comments you have about this video in the comments section.